Hey y'all, it's me, Elias, here to deliver a tarot energy reading for the month of December 2022, the last month of the year. God bless us all. So, I pulled an interesting reading today. Got using the Tazima African Tarot, I got Page of Cups and Knight of Cups, two court cards. I feel like that never happens. And so this is a great opportunity for me to lay out some concepts that I've been working on as I've developed my own perception of tarot based off of my experience and based off of my study. And so when we're talking court cards, we're talking players in or people who are expressions of the suit, right? This is where they take human form and where they move beyond lessons or experiences that the numbers journey kind of prepares or teaches us and guides us through. Once we enter the realm of the court cards, we're really talking about embracing those types of personalities, talking about more of a human aspect to the activity of the suit, if that makes any sense. And so we're talking here, when we're talking cups, we're talking water. And when we're talking cups and when we're talking water and tarot, we're talking about connection, okay? Connection not only to other people, but connection to the world around you. I think we forget that we're having experiences that our body is processing, reacting to in all different ways. It's not just in relationships that are romantic or relationships that are like intense. And so starting with the page, because the way that I like to think about the court cards is not necessarily in progression, right? While these two seem as if you go from the page to the knight, the way I actually see it is the page is one version, the queen is another version, the knight is one version, the king is another version, an elevated version of the suit, right? And so pages, if we start there, pages, the key word for them is pioneer, right? They're the ones who are discovering what it really means to be the suit, to embody it, because their goal is to become queen, to become the essence of the suit, right? The essence of connection. What does that mean? The essence of connection is really being aware of the currents of emotions. It's about connecting to the nuance of relationship. What does it mean when experiences tell you something new about the truth of your life, the truth of what is going on, and how does that change things, right? Pages in general are going to be the question askers. They're going to be the ones to say, well, I'm new here, so I need you to explain this to me very simply, and not as an indication of their ignorance, but it's more of their capabilities to understand without prejudice. And so when we're thinking, and the advice, right, because this is what we're reading for, is saying there needs to be more curiosity to your emotional experiences this month. So when things are, and maybe when we're, for people in America, we're dealing with holiday season. And so check in with yourself and see, the relationships with your family, chosen or otherwise, your relationship with, even society in some respects. How do you become a lot more curious to it? By investigating your own experience, right? The pages is not looking to other people to tell them something, right? We're not there anymore. We're more at trying to see, well, what do I think? How do I feel about this thing? And that's really the key for the Page of Cups, is how do I feel about this thing? What does it mean for me? And really embracing that instead of doing the thing that Jupiter, that sidereal Jupiter has a wound in the sense of their experience sometimes prompts them to automatically make a judgment about something without having experienced it. Can be useful when we're dealing with things that we don't know anything about, that are dangerous. For example, you don't have to always have to experience or go through an experience of being in a cult in order to avoid them, right? So when we're thinking of the Page of Cups and this curiosity, and we're asking ourselves these questions, we're really just going through things and saying, and just taking notes of how you feel, taking notes of what comes up when you're in it, and not, and allowing that to really be what tells you about the experience instead of what you anticipate to be happening or anticipating to be happening, right? Because sometimes when we're going into an experience with something in mind and saying and thinking of a story that we already have, right? Then what we end up doing is just finding ways to support that story, to support the prejudice that we came in with, instead of saying, well, I'm recognizing that I'm hesitant, right, to enter this experience, but how does my hesitancy either be confirmed through solid information, or is it curbed by new information that I'm allowing myself to experience? So that's going to be your first question with Page of Cups, is saying, how do you start asking yourself more questions about the experiences you're having instead of making judgments about what they are, either before you experience them or as your mechanism to avoid experiencing them? Rethink that. Because now we have the Knights, right? The Knights is one version of the King, right? The King is socially responsible, but in order to be responsible through experience, right? To be someone who people go to understand something or to gain advice, which is what the kings are, you need to have experience, and that's really what the Knights talk to us about. And saying, going out and getting that, like you're saying, that what we saying in a job field, experience, going out, hitting the ground, figuring things out. And when we're talking cups and Knight of Cups, it's really saying, well, how do you, in your connections with people, your connections with your life, how do you go intentionally to these things? So not only are you asking questions and being curious about what happens, you're also seeking out experiences that help transform your perspective about something, your story about something, right? Jupiter has stations direct and it's still in Pisces, in its home sign. So we're still able to recognize the ways that our body communicates to us about our environment through the sensations we feel in our body. And so Knight of Cups tells us to seek out more experiences that help us fine tune this ability. And we cultivate that ability by asking questions within these experiences. So it's like, if you seek out something in order to discover something, how does that change the way you engage with the thing or with things in general? You see what I'm saying? And so just thinking in terms of this month, how do you seek out things that are new, that are different, that can push you to change your mind about a story you've told yourself about how things work or how things are supposed to be? And then how do you also bring in a curiosity that is not naive or naivety, but a curiosity that produces discernment, that sharpens your discernment about what you let affect you, right? What you do to affect other people, and what you understand that you are actually affected by, which is sometimes something you can't control. So how all of those things really tell you the truth about who you are and what your body is experiencing in this life, is experiencing in this period of time, and especially we're focusing on this month. So those are some reflections that I hope you can take away. And yeah, I guess that's really it. I'm Elias, and that's your reading. My books will open in the new year. So if you're wanting to get a reading with me, I am opening my books up for 30-minute tarot readings, which are my go-to, and I'm also be opening up for birth chart readings in the new year. So if you've been looking for that, that's coming. And I appreciate everyone who continues to support my work, to share what I do. I appreciate it very much. So without any more things, I will see y'all around.